Hey, how are you? I am Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Fantasy Six Pack to talk about Sunday Night Football. The Philadelphia Eagles go out west to battle the Rams. Stafford, Sean McVay, SoFi Stadium. I could have named off every A-list Hollywood celebrity and then added at the end. Kickoff is at 8:20 p.m. Right now, the over-under at 49.5 points. My final score is dead on. Basically, that portion's a push. So we're going to take the points or minus points, but who are we getting at here? Philadelphia or the Rams? We shall see. Give me a few minutes of your time and I will see what I can do about making you a few bucks. Before we get into the video and Hurts and Stafford, Saquon, Kyron, make sure you get to the website fantasy6pack.net or find them on Twitter at fantasy6pack. When you get there, look around. This is, Sunday Night Football, the tail end of week 12. It ends tomorrow at Monday Night Football, but right now the playoffs are in full swing in most leagues. Some of them, I don't know if you're in one of those leagues, maybe rethink your life and your fantasy life and what you're doing. Beautiful rankings, trade charts, IDP stuff. What about DFS and sports betting? That goes on all the way through to the Super Bowl. So when you get there, tag me, join the Discord, and I will see you there. When we get back to this football game, as I said, the 8-2 Philadelphia Eagles go to the Rams, the 5-5 Rams, boom, right at 500, and they will do battle. When I look at this thing here, the final score 28-21, I have it, and as we start getting through it, you'll understand which side I'm leaning, team-wise. But this game, it could be one of those where it's 21-7 or 21-6, and the Rams go on a run, but the whole game, it won't be as close as the final score looks. That stuff happens all the time. Final will be 31-24, and you're like, it wasn't that bad. Well, the other team, the Rams, they came from behind. They scored 14 unanswered points because Philly was already up, and it didn't matter. They're running out the clock with Kenneth Gainwell after Saquon Barkley went absolutely nuts, which I think he does tonight, and it really doesn't matter the matchup here on out with Saquon Barkley. Let's start with the quarterbacks, right? We'll get Jalen Hurts and Matthew Stafford, talk about them, and then we're going to be in fast forward mode because there's not much else that I am into here. It's Kyron, A.J. Brown, Saquon. Those three are the pillars of all my DFS lineups tonight, whether it's GPP, whether it's cash games. What you see is what you get. When we look at Jalen Hurts, 17-18 completions, around 230 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Then he's going to take off 9 to 10 times for another 40 yards and a third touchdown on the ground. So 2 in the air, 1 on the ground. As I've said before, Hurts will be responsible for 3 touchdowns. You can slice them up any way you want. 2 on the ground, 1 in the air, 3 one way, 0 the other. Jalen Hurts is going to be fantastic tonight. I almost said fantastic and phenomenal in the same. Try to combine words. Didn't make sense. It will move on. Oh well. When you look at Matthew Stafford, old man River, the seasoned vet, right? His beard's getting gray, and he's still out there slinging the football. I see no reason why Stafford isn't responsible for 23 to 24 completions, 225, maybe 230 yards, and a pair of touchdown passes himself. As I have the Rams to score 21 points, any other time I would say 21 points, that's 3 touchdowns. Let's give Stafford all 3 of those with his arm. But when you look at Kyron, more than likely this guy's going to score 1 on the ground, and so to me, Stafford safe bet for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, right? Will he get to 3? Fingers crossed. I don't have it in my notes. I don't think it's in the cards tonight, but we will move on. When we look at the running backs here, it's only 2 people we should even, consider here. Saquon Barkley, Kyron Williams. Why bother with Kenneth Gainwell? Why bother with Blake Corum? And I'm not saying Gainwell and Corum are bums or they're crap. Looking at this game, it's straightforward. 2 NFC. Could you consider the Rams still a heavyweight in the NFC? Sure, to a certain extent. They're 5-5, but with McVay as your head coach and the offense they have, so I would say this is a battle of 2 high, let's say instead of heavyweights, we'll say high-end NFC teams. So they're just going to, give it to their stars and studs, pound the football. When we start with Saquon Barkley, does DVP matter? No. Does price tag matter? No. Okay, we'll move on. 21 to 22 completions, at least 100 yards on the ground, a touchdown, and 2 to 3 receptions for another 20 to 25 yards. So 100 plus all-purpose, let's say just say 110, 115 all-purpose yards and a touchdown. Lock it up, however you want to put it. Rams 13th overall against opposing running backs. And right now, the Rams defense, they're allowing 23.9 points a game. So Hurts with a pair of touchdowns, Saquon Barkley with one touchdown. It's pretty clear how it's going to go. When you look at Kyren Williams, get this, Philadelphia 5th overall against opposing running backs, and the Eagles defense is phenomenal. So is their offense. Just they're both lines, let's say, offensive line, defensive line, are far superior than what the Rams have going on. And, at the top of my notes, Philly will dominate in the trenches on both ends, which could lead to a blowout. Could, hypothetically speaking. Again, I think the Rams are able to hang in here in the second half. They hang some points. It is what it is. But when we look at Kyren Williams, I don't know how I got from point A to point B when I was talking about Kyren Williams, the dominating trenches and all this stuff. But hey, thanks for sticking it out with me. When you look at Kyren Williams, 19 to 20 carries, 70 yards, a touchdown. What about 3 to 4 receptions for another 15 to 20 yards? So can Kyren get to 100 all-purpose yards? Absolutely. Can we win $1 million on DFS lineups every week? Yes and no, but to me, Kyren Williams is a safe bet for at least 20 total targets and touches, and I digress, and I move on. When we look at the wide receivers, A.J. Brown, and that's about it, right? I have A.J. Brown written down, Dotson, Johnny Wilson, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Demarcus Robinson, whatever way you want to go. Let's talk about A.J. Brown briefly, trying to keep this sucker under 10 minutes. I got about 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. So, A.J. Brown in L.A., Rams 23rd overall against opposing wide receivers, 8 to 9 targets, 5 to 6 receptions, 90 yards and a touchdown. Devonta Smith is not playing tonight, unfortunately. So what's the alternative? Johan Dotson, Johnny Wilson? No, it's more A.J. Brown, and it's Dallas Goedert, right? Dallas, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley. Those three, bing, bang, boom. When you look at Goedert, 5-6 targets, 4 to 5 receptions, 50 yards, and a touchdown himself. So Hurts has 2 touchdown passes, one to A.J. Brown, one to Dallas Goedert, and then Saquon Barkley runs one in. There's 3, and then Jalen Hurts will run one in himself. There's our 4 touchdowns for the Philadelphia Eagles. On the flip side, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua. I just heard, I think it was this morning at the Fantasy Six Pack Sunday Social, must have been one of those, the people who run the social media pages for each team, the Rams in the locker room. Puka Nacua was just made aware of that the Rams play in the NFC West. It's weird, but not really. He's a young kid. He's a football player. I like the fact, in a way, that he's not that plugged into things on social media. I don't think that's an old head take here, but he's tunnel vision. I want to play football. I want to read the playbook. I want to chat with Stafford and Kupp and go from there. But Puka Nacua, 9 to 10 targets, 6-7 receptions, around 75 yards. I have Cooper along the same lines, 9 to 10 targets, 6-7 receptions, around 65 to 70 yards. And yet again, I wrote so small that I can't even read what I'm about to tell you. So not that I'm hearing this for the first time, but bear with me here. Next to Cooper Kupp's, notes here in my book, it says Philly only allows 173 pass yards a game, plus only around 19.5 receptions a game. So only just shy of 20 total receptions as a team for an offense playing against Philadelphia. So Cooper Kupp and Puka, if they have 7 apiece, that's 14. So there's probably only 6 other receptions to go around for the Rams here. Which way is it going to slice out? Colby Parkinson, Hunter Long? Probably not. But to me, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, are they in play? Yes. Could I make a line and live with it if I did not have them? Yes, but to me, again, Philadelphia hangs 28 points. I've already, explained where those touchdowns come. What are we going to do on the Rams end, right? So in DFS formats, you lock in those Philadelphia Eagles, and then how can we kind of combat all the other nonsense in a single game slate GPP? To be fair, probably Puka Nacua, probably Cooper Kupp, but more so, I love the idea. This is my one whacked out play of the slate, which is pretty straightforward to me, and I've said that several times. Hunter Long could be the guy to catch a touchdown that no one sees coming, that brings your or our lineups right to the top, and we'll cash in. Hunter Long 5-5 on FanDuel, only $600 on DraftKings. Kobe Parkinson, right, could be him too. I just have a feeling about Hunter Long, and he's dirt cheap. Why not? When we look at the DSTs, Eagles 2 to 3 sacks and interception. The Rams 1 or 2 sacks. I have the Rams with an interception as well. Kickers, I'm all good. If you wanted to, you could take Jake Elliott. Going to have 3 extra points, 4 extra points, and something along those lines. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles to win in LA at SoFi Stadium, 28-21. They will improve to 9-2 and, become one of the greater teams in the NFC so far this season. Recent betting trends, and we'll get the heck out of here. Philadelphia 4-1 against the spread their last 5 games. The Rams 1-4 against the spread their last 5 games against NFC East opponents. Under has hit in 8 of Philadelphia's last 12. The under in 9 of the Rams' last 6. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles -3, -3.5. I have them winning by 7. If you wanted to tease an alternate line to 6, have at it. It's going to be a fantastic game. We'll stay up late for the heck of it because it's professional football, right? It's fantastic. Philadelphia wins 28-21. Be good, be safe, and let's do this all over again tomorrow. Bye-bye.